What's going on, guys? My name is Marcel Flores. Welcome to my YouTube channel, One Dapper Street. Once more, I'm still here in Australia, but regardless of this beautiful summer weather, we're going to be talking about fall trends today. Things that we see on the runway that you might be interested in, and you can figure out how to integrate that into your everyday wardrobe. Now, I'm not going to be doing this by myself because my best friend over many continents is actually here with me. He's the reason I'm in Australia because he just got married last week. My boy, Nathan, you've seen him before.
Nathan. What's going on, guys?
How you feeling?
Freshly married.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm a whole new man.
In your beautiful casa?
Yeah, welcome to my house, or a corner of my house.
It's a corner of the outside house, which is a lovely concept in Australia. You can just hang out outside all year round.
Yeah. But we're going to talk about weather that's not here right now.
Right, fall. Much colder than here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I pulled some trends from GQ America, GQ UK, as well as from Mr. Porter, kind of combined them into a thing, and we're going to have a little chat about how we see them fit for everyday wear, what you're going to be buying into.
Yeah, I love this.
He's a bit more experimental, I would argue.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before we dive in, just so they have an idea of where you're coming from, how do you view style in like 3 sentences?
An expression of who you are without talking.
Nice.
That's 1 sentence.
2 more.
And I'm done. Yeah, style for me is a way of being creatively experimenting. I don't really view it as like something crazy serious.
Right.
For me, I like having fun with it and doing things and testing the waters a bit, probably more than most people do, but that's a reflection of who I am as a person as well. So
How do you figure trends flow into that? Do you care about trends? Are you happy for the trends that keep pushing the boundaries, or do you do your thing regardless?
I do my thing regardless. I'm always interested in what's on trend because this is gonna sound arrogant, but I tend to be a little bit of ahead of a trend on some things.
It's only arrogant if it weren't true. It's just a fact at this point.
And it just tends to be a lot of the time, like I shop for body shape, as we've talked about before.
Right.
And that happens to be on trend a lot of the time. So like oversized pants, that's a thing I started doing because my legs were too big, and now it happens to work really well because that's a trend.
Very much what I believe. I don't know if you guys know that, but he is a bit more experimental, so I'm excited what he has to say about these things. We're getting started with 3 overarching aesthetics that seem to be trending, and the one is tailoring. Tailoring is coming back in a big way. Both of us enjoy tailoring in its own right. Here, the different platforms have reported on classic tailoring, deconstructed tailoring, even some sci-fi tailoring, and shirtless tailoring. So we're going to take a look at what that means. I'm going to start with the classic tailoring, which... So GQ UK has talked about classic tailoring coming back on the runway as well. Are we happy about that?
I don't feel like it went anywhere. I feel like classic tailoring, something that's always wins. It's a no lose situation.
Right.
No one looks at a guy in a nice suit and goes, oh, he looks unfashionable.
Well, unstylish, no. Unfashionable technically. Like, there was guys that were looking insane in suits, like these Italian fabrics, 3Ps, beautifully combined.
Not
But
on trend.
Technically weren't fashionable because technically that wasn't trendy. Like, we hadn't seen classic suits on the runway in a while.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, well, for what's on runway, my personal belief is a good suit never goes out of style.
Absolutely, and I'm so happy to actually be seeing them there. What it means really is, like, if you're seeing them on the runway again, that means a lot more retailers are going to have plenty more options, even in that classic realm of the suit.
Yeah.
But we also have right underneath here the deconstructed suit. So if we zoom in a bit,
I love this.
this is fun.
Yeah.
This is really fun, right?
Hard to pull off.
Definitely. Like, where are you wearing it?
Yeah. Australia,
Yeah.
it works really well.
Does
Because
it?
you don't have the thickness, the layers, the structure
fun.
to it. When you
Yeah.
get that heat, it actually becomes a little bit cooler. I also feel like it can be a little bit less formal. It's a good way of suiting without getting too dressed up or making it look too structured.
Right, I like that a lot, and I think this actually goes well with another trend that we have coming in here from Mr. Porter, who is pointing out that a lot of suits are being worn shirtless. So suiting, but then you have also that like temperature quality, right, where you actually, but similar thing, are you wearing this to, you know, a extreme scenario, a funeral, a wedding? No.
I didn't have sleeves in my wedding last week.
Fair enough, fair enough. But it was your wedding and you get to set the tone. I mean, more so as a
That's
guest,
true.
right? Like if I might get married like that actually. I really enjoy this look.
So do I. I think it's a really strong,
fun.
but it's a statement.
It is, of course it is. But then you can also, I guess, if you don't want to do the whole shirt, you could just do the collar.
No, thank you.
I personally am alright.
You can,
as
but I'm
well.
all right, thank you. It's just such a
Nice,
huge statement. I think
It
you're already
is.
making enough of a statement having no shirt. I do see the Suns shirt look being better than an open giant collar.
Okay, last bit of tailoring here. I don't want to get too deep into this because I don't think it's necessarily applicable for most guys that are just style affine.
Yeah.
Very, like, what we just said was already pushing the boundaries.
Sci-fi tailoring, these oversized, out of proportion, it just is it's an absolute look that seems inapplicable to most
You can
everyday
literally not wear this
scenarios.
anywhere without looking
Yeah.
slightly out of place. If you love it, fantastic, go for it. You happen to be on trend. You can experiment in that direction. But let's move on to another couple of aesthetics and we can go through those a bit quicker. I'm really excited to see the third one here with you. But the second one is grungecore. Grungecore, we'll start here with the journal, aka Mr. Porter. What do you reckon? Reckon is, what do you think in Australian?
I'm real keen on it.
Nice, he likes it, that means.
This is the look for me personally I struggle to pull off. The mismatch patterns, clashes. I feel like it can be done really poorly and can look very unconsidered.
Disorganized?
Whereas if you've done it well,
Right.
I feel like it's hard to do well.
It really is. This is, I'm entirely with you, and I'll pull up here the UK GQ thing as well. I'm entirely with you. It's so dope to look at. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
It's just not something that's gonna work for me maybe anymore. Not even necessarily because I don't think I could do it. I just like, I don't see myself in it. I feel like
I do. I can see you doing like a toned down version of this. Like that Greg Lauren style jacket, a pair of denim jeans that are maybe a bit more like distressed. You can do it in a more toned down way rather than being like that and then a flannel and then you're gonna have a camo handkerchief or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I think there's variations of that you could pull off.
Of course, there's always a level of taking, especially what's on the runway, right? That you can tone down to where you feel comfortable. Okay, let's move into, I reckon we have to move a bit faster here, just because we have more things to get through, but this is gonna be a comprehensive overview of what you at least should be aware of happening. Here, AMETORA. Do you know what the word AMETORA
Isn't
means?
that like Japanese Americana?
Yeah. Oh, nailed it. I did not know that. Absolutely.
So down for
yeah.
that. Yeah,
I knew it.
Although this is a look that I feel like is also quite hard to pull off as well as the Japanese do it.
Yes.
They make it look so effortless.
Yes.
It's Americana, but done in a kind of like casual, slouchy,
oversized.
It's done so well
Style to
on some people.
perfection. Yeah.
It's fantastic. I'm so down for this.
So that's 3 overall aesthetics, but let's move into more specific items that are trending. And the first one is a very long coat.
That's any coat on me.
Just like your regular pea coat. Anime villain coats, they call it. I think that's a fun way to
That is a cool
describe
way to
that,
put
right?
it, yeah.
Like you have an instant image in your head of what that's supposed to be. Broad
100%.
shoulders, very flowy, very drapey.
Yeah, kind of heavy too.
Definitely, like really nice, that satiny fabric.
Yeah.
Beautiful here. I'm gonna go over to Mr. Porter a bit because I think they have that same trend, just a bit more wearable. You see here, like these are just more normal coats, a bit more leaning in the tailoring direction, which
Agreed.
you would expect from Mr. Porter as well. Now, we just touched in the beginning on body size. Is this something you would go for, just considering?
You know, this makes me look like I'm 2 feet tall.
Yeah, right.
And I'm 3.5. It does shrink down because I'm wide and shorter.
Right.
5'8".
Okay.
It does tend to make me look very small.
Right.
So I avoid them.
Nice. I absolutely love them. I'm 6'2" and it works for me. So that's a great note on like, you gotta know what works for you and your body and what flatters your physique. And I am so excited that this is happening. I love long coats generally. They make me feel like I'm wearing a blanket as I walk through a blizzard.
I like it, I just can't wear it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
But I wish I could.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just crop them. It's a regular
Get a long
jacket,
coat
slightly
and then
shorter.
crop it.
Yeah.
All right, let's finally talk about something here from GQ America. Something that I think we both enjoy quite a bit. In terms of jackets, the first one we got, workwear jackets. What's your take?
This is just kind of a continuation of a trend. Carhartt came back in vogue heavily about 2 years ago, and it's just continuing on. It's a classic look and it's hard to do wrong.
It really is. You can do it so simply with a pair of jeans, a t-shirt, you throw a workwear jacket on, go for something a bit more fun, maybe something with an interesting silhouette, interesting texture, interesting fabric, interesting color, and you have a look that's trendy, if that's something you care about, and also just easy to pull off.
Yeah.
You can also go
Also comfortable. That's a big thing with this
it
trend.
is.
It's a comfortable look.
And you can stylize it as well. Styling this with like a dress shirt and like a tie.
Yeah.
So almost like vintagey 90s, but then instead of the blazer you wear a workwear jacket. I think that's a fun look as well. Then we've got 2 classics, the bomber jacket and the biker jacket. And GQ UK is talking about the bomber jacket 2.0, which looks something like this. So very oversized, new silhouettes for a bomber jacket. It is a classic that's been around for 5-6 decades now. We have the classic color combination here on the right.
It's interesting though, it's oversized in the sleeves, but not in the body. That's the big difference here. It actually is a bit more of a cropped silhouette for the most part through the body, and then those baggier sleeves, which I think works really well with some of the more wide leg pants. It stops the whole fit being too oversized.
Right, rather than an entirely oversized bomber jacket, like you still have that slimmer crop feel on
Shows
the body.
the waistline.
Yeah, and then you have these accents, right?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yes.
Which one would you?
The silver one in the middle.
I think it'd be the brown one for me on the side. I love the droopy neckline here as well.
Okay, sure.
That one's a bit up.
I like the way the silver is double zipped. I think that's really good for a crop jacket.
Oh yeah, right. For Mr. Porter, it is the biker jacket that stood out to them on the runway, and you can't really go wrong with leather.
You know I'm a big fan of this, a classic leather jacket.
I think those two silhouettes generally, the bomber jacket and the leather jacket, are just like, I think they should be in any man's closet, like the classic styles, but to have a bit more fun with them, I think is also is cool. Like normally leather tends to be a high investment piece. So I would argue a bomber jacket is probably a better place to have some fun because the investment's a bit lower.
Yeah, I go classic when it comes to a leather jacket.
Right.
I've got two that I wear all the time.
It isn't even that experimental, right? This one is maybe a bit looser in the shape, but this is just a classic aviator jacket.
Yeah.
So even on the runway, it's that classic look, which I think we can all appreciate. Now, okay, we're still picking it up a bit. We've got tops. Tops, we've got vertically striped shirts, V-necks, and tank tops. I want to kind of take care of tank tops really quickly. You're sitting here wearing one. You guys know I wear tank tops all the freaking time, but apparently
I think it's just such a
play
great
around with them. These freaky tanks they call them.
I love a tank that has a bit of detail. I've got one from Saturdays that's actually like a knitted crocheted material.
Right.
Every time I wear it, people are like, that's a great little detail. And you wear it under something, it's just that something coming through. I feel like for full layering, that's a really nice little addition. And particularly if you're going with like a not so statement piece on the outside, gives a bit of detail inside.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I mentioned this on the channel the last few videos. Playing with a tank top as a layering piece into the fall, I think it's pretty cool because it allows you to go a bit thicker, more layers earlier in the fall when it's maybe not super cold yet.
Yeah.
How do you feel about V-necks?
I like a V-neck. I'm glad they're coming back. I think it depends on the V-neck. I like a cable knit with a V-neck.
Yeah,
I think that can look really good, like that
a long
cricket
sleeve
sweater. Yeah, or you don't need a vest.
You're seeing them here. I think something in this direction.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah, that one.
I don't personally, I don't have a good history with V-necks. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have a long neck and like that's something that doesn't work for me as
opposite,
well. Yeah, so I go for turtles normally or cruise. And then we have the shirts. I feel like I had one of those shirts for sure growing up. Whether it's pinstripe or a bit more bold.
This is a trend I'm not going to get behind.
Yeah, okay.
I have some oversized stripe style shirt.
Yeah, you do.
But they're not this. That's more of like a...
The slim, a bit retro 70s leaning,
yeah,
right?
just doesn't work for me,
Yeah,
my style.
I think, ironically, I think it works for me on my body. I just don't love it so much.
Okay.
So just because something looks good on you also doesn't mean that you have to buy into that, right? Moving on your legs. Do you want to talk about skirts?
Yeah, for sure.
Fun. Have you worn a skirt?
No.
Would you?
Yes.
What would it look like before I show you a photo here?
I think I'd go something dark. I have a pair of dressed short trouser things that are quite boxy and have pleats in them, and they almost look like a skirt at times. So I think something along those lines would work really well. Probably below the knee. I don't think I'd want to go a short skirt like that gentleman.
Yeah. So this is below the hip, not above the knee.
I'm looking at the guy in the middle there.
Yeah,
something like that, but I
good.
wouldn't wear as oversized on top.
I'm liking this. You are a bit ahead of the curve, like with the early trendsetters. I've always been an early adapter. So if this were to settle in where a lot of people are wearing them more, I would jump on that because I think it's pretty cool. And if we scroll down here, we're going to see a designer that you all know, Tom Brown, that kind of made that happen with a little bit of that double layering effect. I think super cool.
Also tailored. It works really well tailoring. But the guy on the right there in the black, I really like that.
With the pleats all around and the pinstripe, that like traditional menswear suiting fabric.
Yeah.
For all of those that are going to storm into the comments like, oh no, this is too feminine. Men have worn skirts.
My arms are bigger than yours. Shut up. But yeah, skirts were originally designed for men. Kilts, look at the Scottish history.
Go back to the Romans. Apparently, we all think about the Roman Empire once a day, which is not true, but now it just happened. Yeah. Then we've got pulling sweats and white leg jeans. So white leg, light colored jeans, we can honestly just cross off. Like we know that they're trending. They're everywhere. You have some, I have some, and they're great. They're lovely. That's what they look like. And these are from Abercrombie. These are literally the ones I have. If you like them, now's the time to get into them. But also pooling sweats, and I thought it was an interesting way of naming that. But pooling in the sense that they're so long that they start coming together at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I think another topic here in terms of body shape and whatnot. I don't even like these, so I had these before, the Fear of God ones.
Yeah.
And I think they're in no small way the reason that this kind of happened, right? The wider fit sweatpants. I had them, I had to return them. I didn't like them.
I like them.
Yeah?
Bigger legs, they flatter me more. I feel like sweatpants can look a bit too painted on sometimes, and that's not my style.
Okay, so let's focus in a bit on some accessories that we've got. This is our second to last category, and I think this one's fun. Do you remember the early 2000s? Like, did you ever get into that hip hop culture of like dressing super baggy?
No,
so I did. Not. So I had these massive belt buckles. Yeah,
I remember them. I never got into that. I was a punk kid, so I was into the studded belts, which I can see one right there. Yeah, that's more my vibe. But no, the big buckle thing, this is way more Western inspired than I see rather than hip hop, is the way I would wear it.
Absolutely.
I can vibe with it. Will I do it? Probably not. Okay. I think a belt for me is a subtle accessory that ties things together rather than shouldn't be a statement.
Generally, I would agree. If you're going with something this loud, always tone the rest down a little bit and let that then be the shining piece of the outfit.
If it's shiny.
Then especially. Are you a big tie wearer?
I'm not at home because I live on the beach. Dressing up, I like to wear a tie.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like if you enjoy a good suit, you enjoy a good tie.
Yeah.
That combination is still a very classic thing. It's really fun. Geometric prints here, a lot. I think not much to say about it. The way you're wearing them now is a little bit different than it was. A bit more 90s punk, like loose, oversized white shirt, untucked, that skater vibe, which I think is cool. Now, I would love to hear your opinion generally on square-toed shoes. We've got a few options, whether it's a loafer, a boot, a mule.
I personally would not wear them. I think they make the feet look smaller, and I don't need any help with that.
Enough as is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a US 8. I don't have the biggest feet, so I think having a square-toe shoe can look a little bit, I know it is the trend, but boxy. I prefer something that just has a bit more of a regular toe. However, like little detailing around the toe, like I've got those like Calvin Klein looking steel tap, like that's a square steel. I like that detailing at the end, but it's not the whole shoe like that. It's just
so it's more so like a proper square toe up front.
Yeah.
Not the whole
square shoe.
Yeah, not the square shoe. I am actually with that. I think the square toe is not something that's very flattering. It is something that's technically better for your feet because it looks more like a
wider foot. Yeah.
Yeah, it probably feels more comfortable.
That's not why they're doing it.
Absolutely isn't, and I also have a hard time getting behind it. I think all of these are four simple classic black shoes that all of a sudden become very hard to wear just because of that silhouette. Then we have two very, very classic things. Beanies for fall. Groundbreaking, don't you think?
Yeah. Floral for spring, beanies for winter. Wow.
Wow. But beanie, baby. I'll just honorable mention because don't forget to buy yourself a beanie and maybe invest in a good one, not that pilly one that you've had for years now.
Yeah.
But then also statement scarves. I feel like that's also a trend season over season, year after year, where it's just like, yeah, of course, you wear a scarf.
This isn't a scarf, this is a statement scarf. This is an oversized, giant, I am wearing a scarf, and I want you to know.
Yeah. Do you want people to know when you're wearing a scarf?
One of my most reposted statement things was that cloak thing I did that looked like it was a wrapped scarf. Yeah, I would wear it, but I don't get much wear out of it. And I feel like it's one of those things, if it's printed particularly, you can't wear it time and time again. Otherwise, you just look like you're wearing the same outfit on repeat because it's the same thing.
And it's the first thing you see also.
If you want to go something that's a little bit more subtle in color, not in size.
Yeah, so I think better example generally in the direction would be the first couple here, right?
Agreed.
Navy and gray, and then that really nice light gray. Get yourself a scarf. Well, I do think they're a fun thing to play with, and they do just I live in windy New York. I definitely need one, and it just keeps me so crazy warm that I want to have a large statement scarf just for my blankety feeling. Long coat, big scarf, I'm happy. Last but not least, we have two colors that we want to talk about, and I can already tell you which one's going to be his favorite. I obviously know which is mine. On these three websites, only two colors were predominant, and that is Cadbury Purple.
It's a statement.
It is a statement, or this standard issue green.
Military green.
That's what I thought. Just a lot more versatile, a lot more, you're gonna get so much more wear out of any piece that you get.
Yeah, it's not as much of a statement, and it's a lot easier to pair with other colors.
Correct.
Vibrant purple, you're either going light or you're going really dark. You can't really go around it. They've only done dark, or that one's one light.
Yeah, even this is the Runway, and then even GQ UK is recommending this very dull cos corduroy overshirt. Wonderful, I'd probably buy that because it's a nice subtle tint that goes with a lot more, but overall, this is standard issue. Like, this is military inspired. This has been around for decades. It will be around for decades. It will stay stylish. So if you're making a $1,300 investment on a crossbody bag from La Mer, the Croissant bag, croissant, then at least do it in military green and not that bright purple, because you're probably gonna be able to wear that a few more years than the purple. So overall, men's fashion trends, how are we feeling? You excited?
Yeah, I'm on board with most in my own way.
Okay.
I think it's a big thing with trends. Do, like you said before, do what works for you and your body shape. Adapt them with the ones you like. Don't just do it because everyone else is doing it, because you're gonna go wrong. I think do the ones you like and stick with that.
Big note on my end would be just to keep experimenting, and like, even the reason we're looking at fashion runway looks here, 90% of them are outside of my comfort zone, and we've both been doing this for more than 10 years professionally. It's more about seeing how far you can push it and staying open to experimentation, and then knowing how to dial it back for your own personal style. So I hope that we could make this a bit more see-through for you guys. Thank you for joining me.
I'm gonna come and get some fall outfits with you soon.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna come to visit me in New York, so I'm sure there's plenty of you that still remember Nathan from the last few videos that we've done.
I've been hiding over in Australia for a few years.
It was a few years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to drop some comments down below on what your favorite trends are, what you would like for maybe us to shoot while you're in New York. It could be fun to do another thrift challenge, another styling thing, another shopping thing. We'll have some fun in New York. We'll just hang out. We'll film something. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys very soon with the next video, hopefully with you again very soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Until then, as always, stay dapper. Bye.